because then if you can focus on yourself, then you'll be able to look after others. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes, I feel like nowadays is like, you know, like some countries, if you leave them, they should be able to do it themselves. Do you know what I mean? You've got like Russia and obviously what's it called, Ukraine. I feel like Ukraine should sort of do it, see if they can do it themselves. You know, people get too involved. Like other countries get too involved with other countries' wars and refugees and all that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's gone too far.
Let's go back to like the basis, like belief in God. Yeah. So you're saying that you're an atheist.
Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion? Have you really kind of thought about the possibility of there being a God?
Do you know what it is? I do believe like maybe it's not really like I do believe like not God, but I do like feel like everything happens for a reason. Do you know what I mean? I feel like something has to have like there's got to be a greater being. Maybe that is God. Maybe I do believe in God because I feel like there is science. That's definitely. I don't feel like all this has just come a place like after like the Big Bang and that. I do feel like something else is in like the background. Do you know what I mean? Too much like deja vu. You've got so much stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when like you're out and about and you're like looking at it's a beautiful day, the sun's shining, lovely blue skies, you're meeting people. You've got trees and you've got flowers and people. I mean, there seems to be a purpose behind things.
Yeah,
there seems to be like a creation is going on. Somebody's behind it, like you said.
Yeah.
And so we would say that's God, and we have this natural inclination to believe in God. It's there in everybody's soul. That we recognise that there's something apart from ourselves, that we didn't just come into existence out of nothing.
There's like a greater being in it.
There's a greater being and there's a purpose to life.
Yeah.
And when we're not connected with that purpose, then that's when we feel this emptiness, lack of focus, lack of purpose in our lives. We end up often going astray, doing all these.
I do believe in like when you have a life, people do live unless they have a purpose. Like when they like when people retire, and then most people like believe when they stop working it's because they ain't got a purpose no more, and they usually die. Or people, do you know what I mean? So I do believe in that. Like someone always has a purpose to live.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I do believe in that. Like it's just maybe I just don't like the fact there's so many and like there's so many like wars and. But that's like everything though. It's not just religion.
Exactly. Humans are going to find an excuse to disagree about everything and everything, And then actually, if you look at most wars since in the last 100 years, they've not been religious wars. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War, the Iraq War. All of these wars, they weren't religious wars. They were wars for empire, for economics, for wealth, for money. And so it's a bit of a fallacy to say.
I've got to admit, I do believe like myself. Maybe I've been like brainwashed or whatever. But I feel like religion is one of the hits when everything goes wrong. They always believe it. Like they always think it's religion behind it. And I do feel sorry for you guys. All you're doing is what everyone should be. Have a free speech and free mind to support whatever they want to do. Do you know? As long as they ain't affecting other people. Do you know what I mean? They should have that free will. That's what God is, isn't it? They say. He's a prize with you to let you think on yourself, or do you know what I mean? So,
has anyone ever explained what Islam is to you?
I'll be honest with you. I was going to turn Islam like 4 years ago. I was because I did like it because you're all like. Maybe I wish what this country was like Christianity, like you're all together, like you pick on one, you pick on the rest. It is very family.
There's a family, there's a community, there's family structures.
What it is, like I feel like I'm one of them. Like if you go to someone, like if you go into a different religion, you follow by their rules. The religion don't change their rules for them. It's like, and I feel like countries should be like that as well. Like you've got Islamic country. I know when you got like people go, oh, they got their own different laws. Yeah, but it's their country. You follow their rule. That's why it makes their religion so special. And if you start changing everyone to becoming everyone equal, then the other people won't have their like special, like it won't be as special. Do you know what I mean? Everything will just be the same. It'll be like not good. Do you know what I mean? Everything will be great.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? So you just got to find that balance. I feel like in the world now, I feel the balance is a tip more negative now. I feel like I don't know.
So what was it that when you looked into Islam and you said you was veering towards that? What was it? What was it that you had found out, and what was it that appealed to you? Did you understand about God, about the Prophet, about the Prophet Muhammad? What did you learn about?
Like where I grew up in East London. I grew up in Hainault. It's like a very multicultural area. Like where I grew up was so obviously I grew up with Muslims, I grew up with Sikhs. I grew up all different. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I grew up a lot with Muslims, and obviously I had loads of friends. And one of my last jobs, I worked with loads, and they were like my brothers. Like honestly, a bit naughty. They should have done stuff. Do you know what I mean? They smoked and that. Do you know what I mean? But they're always family to me. Do you know what I mean? I liked how they're always together. I feel like not many like. Community, well, apart from the Jewish are quite sort of together as well, so I respect them as well. They're very together. You pick on one, you pick on all.
Well, that's what's interesting. I mean, as Muslims, we're heartbroken to see society breaking down, communities breaking down, families breaking down. And so that's why it'd actually be better for people to work together in order to rebuild these institutions. I mean, that's what Muslims are calling for. We're not calling for like division and hate and to wipe out Christianity. We're calling to people, let's work together to rebuild British society.
I know, obviously.
On religious values, on society values, on family values.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's obviously because obviously I'm like British and I do have very. It's because I'll be honest. It is because obviously it's hard when you see other different cultures. I feel like it has caused a massive rift because obviously you've got so many different cultures. It's going to clash when you have so many different cultures.
But you know what's interesting? Like if we British culture has changed over the years.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So British culture today is nothing like it was 50 years ago. Nothing like it was 100 years ago. I would say that British culture 50 years ago, for example, or maybe a bit longer, just before the war, after the war, Muslims are more similar to how, in their values, to how British culture was back in that time. It was community structured, it was family oriented, there was values, there was decency, So the breakdown of society that's happened is not because Muslims have kind of like entered in and caused division and stuff like that.
They haven't caused division. I never said it was your guys' fault to cause division.
I'm not saying you say that, but other people do say that. And so they don't look at the reasons why society is breaking down. Society is breaking down.
I blame our government for like years. So it's been countless years.
It's partly the government, but it's partly like the secularization of society. People abandoning religion. People focusing on maybe like a materialistic, hedonistic
I'll be
lifestyle.
honest, you'll probably find this. I believe that now we live in a communist country. I feel like we are everything that the Americans thought the Russians were. What I'm beat by that because everything's now. Have you ever realised everything's got to be equal? Everything's got to be shared. Everything.
Sure.
Do you know? Yeah, that's what communism. That's why Americans went against because everything wanted to be equal and that. And I feel like it's getting like that. No one's allowed to have a different opinion. Everyone's shut down. Everyone's unequal anymore. Like. I just feel like no one wants to come together and have like a voice because they're always shut down. People feel like they can't change anything with their voices, and that's what I feel like. That's what communism was fought against.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So,
but I tell you what, regardless of how society, no society is going to be perfect. British society is not going to be perfect. No society is. But what's more important is that we have the correct relationship in our particular lives. Relationship with God, relationship with ourselves. We look after ourselves. We look after our family, our neighbours, our community, people that are within our sphere of influence. That's what we can control.
I feel like you should always. I feel like nowadays, if you tell people I'm going to look after myself, it gets looked as you don't want to look after. No, if you look after yourself, you're able to look after other people.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. I feel like nowadays it's like I'm going to be selfish, but sometimes you have to be selfish to look after the people around you.
And many people can't because they're on drugs, because they're on drink, because they've got mental health issues, and so families are breaking down, and then they can't raise children properly, and then those children then go on and become have their own social problems. And so but how do you rebuild that structure? You rebuild that structure by having first and foremost a relationship.
Isn't it? It's trust and communication. That's what people miss nowadays.
Well, I think the main thing is having a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Because when you have that relationship with God, that gives you the ability to rectify yourself.
Do you know what it is? I feel like everyone should have a relationship with themselves. It might be God. It might have a good relationship. I feel like people should get themselves to have a good. You see how people nowadays people don't want to be themselves anymore. They want to be something that they're not. And I feel like that's because people look in the mirror now and they don't like what they see. And I feel like when people start loving who they are and start improving themselves, because I feel like nowadays you tell someone a negative out there, they take it as it's not. It's people. I'd rather get told my negatives than my positives because I want to be better. Like I want to best myself every day. Do you know what I mean? Because it makes me feel better in myself, then I'll be able to do better.
Exactly. So that's what I would say. That's what Islam calls somebody to be the best version of themselves. Yeah. And so that's the question. How do you be the best version of yourself? Is it through religion? Is it through abandoning religion and following like a?
Mine's probably family. Yeah, family.
Okay, but what's the basis of family? Because many people, it's good, but many people have different motivations. But you're saying like the Muslim community is very family oriented, for example.
Yeah.
Why is that? I would say it's because they have faith cementing the connection.
It's a base.
Because in Islam we're taught to respect our parents, to treat children mercifully, and all these type of things. And so when you have a religious motivation for acting, it gives it more. You have more likelihood of following through on your goals.
I just feel sorry the way guys like religion's been shown now, like it's bad propaganda. Because obviously you get up online, we go on like you got the world stuff's going on, like terrorists and all that. It's not you. Every culture, every colour have got their own problems. Everyone's bad as each other. Everyone's good as each other. But the way it's been put on you guys, it's not your fault. And obviously you got obviously you got the Russia. It's just today's world. It's just so fucked. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
So that's what I'm saying. But there's something that you can do about it personally to rectify yourself and rectify people within your sphere of influence. That's by choosing to be the best version of yourself. Yeah. And I would say the best way to be the best version of yourself is to find out about religion, find out about Islam, and make that choice to be that religious, moral person that will help you.
I might not be Islam, but I might convert to. I might be a Christian again. I might actually.
The thing is, like, nobody should choose based upon blind faith and make a rush decision. People should investigate the evidence, investigate Christianity, investigate Islam, investigate any.
That's why I didn't convert. And I was actually really close, and I thought I did have a think about it, and I was like, it's not just Islam. I look at all other religions. I was like, I don't know. It's like, I get it. It's like when they say, like, what is it? God forgives everyone, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. And I used to say, well, we didn't forgive Satan. I remember I used to say, I don't know, I was only young, that's what I used to say to him. I was like, he never forgive Satan, did he? So ever since then, and obviously...
Can I explain what Islam is?
Yeah.
Let me give my 2 cents for Islam, and then I'll explain that, and then you think about it, you do your research, you look into other religions as well. I'll give you a 2-minute explanation of Islam. Yeah. So Islam is a belief that God created the whole universe and created humans for a noble person, for a very noble purpose, high purpose, in order to come to know him, know that he's one God, and that he's created us, and he wants us to live harmoniously and happily on this life, in this life, on this world. And in order to convey this guidance to us, he sent human prophets throughout human history, starting from the first human being, Adam, and then other prophets thereafter, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon them all. These are all prophets sent by God with the same one message, that God exists, that there's one God, that we should worship him, and that we should live harmoniously together as human beings, loving your neighbor, as it says in the Bible. And so that message has been one. And Islam, what distinguishes Islam is that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was the final messenger sent to the whole of mankind and until the end of time. The previous prophets were sent to particular nations at particular moments in time, and the revelation that they were sent with hasn't been preserved 100% accurately. And so what we find in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible and in the New Testament, there's a mixture of truth and alterations at the hands of men. The final revelation sent to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Quran, is a final revelation sent by God, and it has been preserved immaculately since the time of its revelation. And so we can trust that this is the revelation from God, and this can be demonstrated and proven. And so this is something. So this is the claim of the Muslims. So now you can look into this, look into the claims that I'm saying. How do we know that the Quran has been preserved? You can look into that. How do we know that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was genuinely a messenger rather than a false prophet? How do we know about how well earlier scriptures were preserved? Look into all of these things and come to your conclusions.
No, obviously it's just, I don't know, it's just at the minute, like in the world now, I just feel like it causes, I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe I just think too much about the world, maybe I care too much.
You know what it is? It's easy to get overwhelmed with the state of the world, because there's lots of problems.
So I want to, like...
But that's the nature of this life. This is something that we're taught.
Oh, where's mine?
Don't worry, you've been picked up. You've been picked up. This is something that we're taught about, the nature of this world in the Quran. This world isn't meant to be perfect. This isn't paradise. This world has its ups and downs. We have trials, tests, tribulations, difficulties. That's the nature of this world. But these are opportunities to turn to God, to realize our weakness, to ask God for help. Having that connection with God helps you get through life. Yeah. But it's not meant to be perfect. And so I would say, don't overwhelm yourself with life being imperfect, but rather use it as an opportunity to come to know God.
Yeah. I know there's something there. It's just...
And having that connection with God will help you deal with life.
No, I'll be honest. When I was younger, I lost my mum when I was like 2 years old.
I am sorry to hear that.
So I've always, I don't know, like I always felt like if there was a God or something, they would have, I don't know, not like stop that from happening, but I was always like, I always had like a pain for it all. But then I did forgive myself for it. It's just I just see what's going on. There's always so much bad and so much good. It's like you get.
It's difficult. I lost my father when I was when I was younger as well, and these things are difficult, And that's what I say. Life it has its ups and downs, but when you have that anchor of religious faith and that connection with God, you get through life. Because and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he has a wonderful saying. He says that truly the life of a Muslim, everything in it is good. And this is just amazing, because this is only the case for a believer. Because when something good happens to him, when we experience blessings and happiness in life, we recognize that it's from God, and we thank God and we praise God for that. But then when difficulties happen, which they inevitably do, then we have patience and realize that it's just a test. It's going to come and pass, and God rewards us for having that patience during that difficult time. And so even in difficulty, you'll find that Muslims have this sense of serenity, this calmness.
No, I know.
This
so I always felt bad, because I was always like, when I grew up, and obviously, you know how much like immigrants don't come over and that, like population, all that.
Yeah.
I was, like, as an English boy, like when you're growing up, it's very hard. You know what I mean? When you see it all coming over, and obviously you get told as a kid, wow. It's like, I'm one of them. Like it's just changed so much. So I was just wanting to find like a religion. So,
but it can be an opportunity as well. I mean, it's true that society has changed. It's not how it was like 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's an opportunity. Now you have an opportunity to find out about other cultures, other religions. I mean, for myself, I became Muslim 30 years ago. I'm happy that there was Muslims over here that I could speak to and find out about Islam.
So I do feel bad for them, because if they probably get targeted for like the sins of like whoever. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. It's like, well, because like people in their religion done something doesn't mean all the rest will like them. And I do feel sorry for you guys for that. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. And Muslims, we need to be honest about the mistakes that are happening in the community.
But I know you guys
and take responsibility for it as well. And so sometimes we don't do that like we should.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to acknowledge that, because I think we shouldn't be in denial about the problems that happen.
I've said every religion is as bad as each other, every religion is as good as each other, every culture is as good as bad as each other. Do you know what I mean? Just some get pointed out and the way it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I did want to like change like 4 years ago, and I was like proper like deciding whether to be. Yeah. So I had all my mates that were Muslim, and obviously, and like it's just the way they were. They were always brotherly. They always looked out for one another. They always looked after me.
Sure.
So
for sure. And I mean, I would say that's one of the signs that Islam is the correct religion.
Yeah.
Because that community, the Muslims are one worldwide community of over 1 billion people.
When I told my mum and dad, they weren't happy. That's because they care. My mum and dad are amazing. That's because they care. Like.
But once they see a change in you, I mean my family was also a bit like, what have you done?
No, it's not just Muslims. They don't like religion either. That's why it's all.
My family's not religious in the slightest as well. So they thought I was on some weird religious kind of like phase, But once they see you change and they see you become happier, more content, you're praying, you're spending more time with the family, you're helping them out, you're off diet, the bad stuff, you're not on the drink and the drugs and the sleeping around and the craziness, and they see that change in you, then they're like, this is actually good for him. He's benefiting.
No, I feel like religion is the cure for the world as well. I just feel like everyone's I don't know, like everyone's just trying to be everyone nowadays. Everyone's got to compliment everyone. It's like everything's losing its flavour now. Like, everything's gone too bland. I don't know, like I don't know.
Don't overwhelm yourself with the state of the world.
Yeah, it's just hard.
Think about what you can do to find that internal contentment and peace and connection with God. And look into that. That's what would be my advice to you, for sure. Let me give you a couple of things to read. These are a few things. Yeah. Please take a Quran. Do you follow any of these Muslim channels online?
No.
There's lots of people that record events like this, and there are lots of discussions. You can find out more about because not even. I don't know if you're a reader or you prefer to watch YouTube,
I just thought,
stuff like that.
Even if I had an opinion that you wouldn't have liked, I thought do you know what I mean? I think I wanted to show that even though we have different opinions, we can still have a chat. I think nowadays people have different opinions. They just want to shout in each other's face.
For sure.
But no, thank you.
No. If you want, I can give you my number. Yeah. And then if you have any follow-up questions, then you can ask me. Do you want to put in your number, and then I'll save it, and then you can give him a call. And remind me, you said your name was?
Tom.
Tom.
Double check that, mate. Oh, you just got his number.
Yeah, you got one more digit to go.
Sorry.
Where do you live?
Collier Row.
Okay, cool. Okay, so my name's Anas, A-N-A-S. You got it? You got it? Mm-hmm. Let me just...
Yeah, I live in Collier Road.
Yeah, I'm down in Chadwell Heath.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I used to work down there.
Uh-huh.
The train station.
Tom, I'm going to put you down, Tom Collier Road. Tom, bro, it's really nice to meet you. I hope things go well for you.
Oh, they will.
And be in touch, please.
You too, mate. See you
later. Take care. Bye-bye.